Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
He's an extraordinarily fit gentleman. Even now to this day, you know, into his latter years, he's still super fit.
Well, he was not only one of the greatest players I've ever seen and played with, he was just a tough man that didn't have to prove he was tough, but if he had to, he could. There are some legendary stories about Malcolm Reilly, which some we can tell and some we can't.
Can you tell us one or two you can tell?
Well, his first game in Sydney was against South Sydney at the Sydney Cricket Ground in the match of the day.
They were the best team at the time.
They had internationals on the reserves bench.
Yeah.
They had so many great players, and Malcolm arrived on the Thursday night, and we played on the Saturday. We're getting changed before the game in the dressing rooms at the cricket ground, which remain the same today. And he said, "Who's best player?" And I said, "Oh, Bobby Fulton." He said, "No, not us." He said, "Souths." I said, "Too many of them." He said, "Who's best player?" And I said, "Bobby McCarthy."
Yeah.
He said, "Number." I said, 10. And he said, "Who's halfback?" And I said, "Us or them?" He said, "Us." And I introduced him to Dennis Ward, our halfback. He told him to kick the ball out on the full and he would take care of the rest. So Dennis kicked out on the full. In those days, in 1973, it was a scrum back at the halfway mark, and everybody would look at the ball, not the players coming through.
Yeah.
And the referee blew his whistle for a scrum back at halfway. Only 3 or 4 cameras in those days,
Yeah.
and still black and white television.
Yeah.
So we're going a long way back. And there on the ground, I could see number 10 face down. Malcolm trotted by and said, "Right number?" and that was Malcolm's first 30 seconds in Australian Rugby League, and they carted him off and we beat them.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.